Attention audience, the rest of this evening's updates will be based on your subscriber request. Comment down below in this video for any and every crypto you want me to cover this evening. That's once again, any crypto, comment down below. Vincenzo's Go Crypto Investing, and another update here. We had some subscribers requesting a few coins, and I told you all night tonight I'm going to do coins on whatever coins you guys want. So these are going to be coin updates based on subscribers and what you, yes you, the subscriber wants to see. And this first one is HBAR, and we're going to take a look at this. And we used to look at HBAR, and I got some stuff on here from before that is probably no longer relevant, but we're going to still keep it on because I was using it for something. We're just going to doll it out into the background. Then we'll simply click on this one right here, doll that out to the background, and you can see we had its major support and resistance line. It's sort of legacy line here, which could have been moved. Now down there looked perfect, because then if you looked at this, you had your upper resistance up here, you had a big rising channel, right? See that? You could say a wedge, but to me it looks more like a rising channel. See that? And then it broke down. But we're going to delete that for purposes of discussion. We got some nonsense right there we need to get rid of. That's what was clogging that up. So now if we look at this, we're going to get our volume indicator up in here, right? Up in here, up in here. Y'all gonna make me lose my volume indicator up in here. Look at that, and see that? That's why we had this major volume range on there. So we did have a volume indicator up there before the last time we looked at HBAR, and it did bounce off the top part of that support zone right next to where, we'll pull this down, right next to where the major volume has been traded at 0.0, about 4.25 cents, right? Let's get rid of some of those. There's too many numbers up here. There we go. And then if we look at where our overhead major resistance is going to be on a bounce, right? You can see there's not a lot of volume traded anywhere in here, right? There's a little bit that sneaks its neck out there. So that's going to be at some point, maybe not now, but maybe in the future, major area that we need to pay attention to as a big overhead resistance area, which could be said is up here, right? Let's click that down. Let's keep pulling that over. Get that all the way over, and then we go back into here to get it on its, I hate when it does this. Come on. There we go. Get it right there, and then we're going to lock that. So that's going to be a major area of overhead resistance in the future. But if I had to look at a line that would give me pause on the first major area of uptrend resistance would be right here. You see this at the top of that candle, and we're going to go ahead and make that white, make it a little bit bigger. And the reason that is you can see when you bounce down here on the major volume candles, when you come back up here, this is your first major one where you have volume decreasing down there, and then this is a 50-50 almost sell. And when you get the open volume here, there tends to be a lot of sellers where the first drop off starts the same way as down here. There tend to be a lot of buyers before the drop off, and then you see the drop off down in here, and then if you break that, it flushes down. So this would give me the first indication of where you would have overhead resistance. And you can see on the first candles in the weekly, if we go to the daily now, you can see you're coming right up against it, and it just so happens the 50-day moving average is there. So this would be where you would expect your first area of upper resistance. You see how that volume indicator can play out and predict the pattern, or help you predict where you're going to have support and resistance levels. And that would be at about the almost 8 cent level right here. You would expect to start getting your first overhead resistance. And we'll see in the next day or two how the overall daily candles react, because you're coming on into this hot and heavy. And that's my first area of overhead resistance. And you can see how it's just been a nice consistent V line up here. And what you would maybe expect to see when you come up here, you hit this overhead resistance, maybe get on top of it, overshoot it. They don't always hit it and then consolidate. Sometimes they kind of come up over top, consolidate back down. And what you would expect when you interact up here are these beautiful moving averages with the 50 leading the way, the 100 in the middle, and the 200 all uptrending on a very nice uptrend. That's a very bullish setup the way that is. You would expect it to come up, hit a little resistance, trade down. These moving averages would run into it and hold them as support, and then it powers its way over and can make another move up. So that's what I'd be watching out for in HBAR and Hendra the next couple of days, is that 0.79 area is overhead resistance. And then if you can get a nice little consolidation down, if you don't blow by it, you get a nice consolidation, you build the base, and then you can make another run up here at some more major overhead resistance, which if you track back to the volume indicator, or if we even put a fib circle on here to give us a midway point. Let's get down here, let's get out to the daily time frame, and let's go from a swing high right here all the way up there to a swing low. There we go, to a swing low. It's the current time frame. We're gonna have to change that to green for purposes of this. There we go. And you can see on the way up you would have some overhead resistance, and that's up about the 200 day and the 50, so that's kind of coinciding beautifully with what we were looking at, so we don't need that on there. Get off. Just kind of doing some live TA for you. So you can see there, so there's your overhead resistance. And then if we had to look at another little area where you would get some resistance, I thought we were in the daily when I did that. I was in the weekly. Another spot for your next major overhead resistance would be up here, where this little candlestick sticks its neck out. See this up here? I would expect some more overhead resistance up here, and you can see how that lines up beautifully here. And this is what I like to do often. I put some lines out, and then we go back and look at the pattern. You can see right here, we had resistance, support and resistance right here. Right on this line, we had support. So that means underneath it would be resistance. Then look at this. We had support, just above it support. And this is just going from the volume indicator. And then we had a whole bunch of support right here before it broke down. So on the way back up, this would be your second area of major overhead resistance up here at 12.5 cents. So I'd be looking for my first consolidation down here at this overhead resistance at 0.79 cents, right? Look for a consolidation, and then try to build a base and to move up if volume comes into the 12 cent level. But if you get rejected up here, a violent rejection could lead you back down here to the 5 cent level. So your first area of overhead resistance is where you're running into now. Look for a consolidation, hold the short-term moving averages in the 3-hour time frame, and then that can try to catapult you up. If you get violently rejected though, you might come back down here and retest your major volume area where your volume profile is, and then some more upper resistance above is 12 cents. And then if somehow you got a huge like a Matic type pump, you would come all the way up here to the 200 day, or the bottom part of this white support box, at about 18 3/4 to 19 cents. So that's what's looking like in HBAR. And then if we go into Casper, I had a subscriber request Casper. We'll take a look. I don't believe I've ever looked at Casper, and that's a very volatile, jaggedy, nonsensical thing that I'm not going to look at back over there, because that just gets really confusing. But if we go to the daily time frame, okay, that's where it starts. See, this thing gets I don't even know what was going on up there in Casper, so we're just going to focus. This is going to be a hard one to do TA on, just because the state of the chart. I mean, look at that. Because it just messes up the chart so much when I pull out to a farther time frame. So that's where this thing went haywire. So I'm going to put a little volume indicator from after the dump of all that nonsense to here. Oh, look at that. So you can see the major volume up here is actually up a little bit higher. So we got our major area to look for on the way up, which is the mean of the volume, which is all the way up here. It's actually a big area, so we're going to mark that up there. And you can see the mean right there. And that's sitting up here at 11 cents. And then we got this area that we need to come, we got this area that we need to come out of right now. And we're going to highlight that right here. We need to come out of here, and this is the shit house. See this? Where this volume is. So we're going to highlight that in red, because the shit house is red. And then we're going to pull the volume down a little bit. Oops. Pull the volume down a little bit on there. Oh, we need to lock it. And then we're going to go into here and, oh, not hide. Fuck. Now we got to go here. Object tree. Unhide. We wanted to lock it. So here's what you got going on. And here's what I'd be watching out for in Casper. And we'll even highlight this up here, because this is where I'd be waiting for my next move up in here. See this candlestick, this little white box up here, but we're going to make this a green box. Right up there. See, here's what you got going on. Where the price is with Casper, you got a nice uptick in volume, which is bullish. You're trying to get above the 50-day moving average in the daily time frame. And on simple TA, what you need to do, see this volume indicator? You got a bunch of volume right here, right? You need to break above that and then get all into this area. See this big area here? From the top part here all the way up to there. There's very little volume. No volume, no volume. Bigger volume as you work your way in to a major candlestick there. Once you break, or if you can break this 4 and 10 cents, 0.041 cents, you have a free and clear run all the way up here to the 200-day moving average at about 0.069 cents, right? And to where this area right here, see this is how you play the volume indicator. Once you break this area, there's nothing to sell you down. The price can shoot up with very little volume all the way into here, because there's virtually no volume in this whole area, right? So you have a free run all the way up. And if you look at that, that's why we have these boxes here. If we take our industry exclusive measuring tool, if you break above this red support zone, the shit house, you have a free and clear run, 59% to 75% move if you can get some bullish action and get above this shit house. If you can get on top of the shit house right here at point and hold it as support, right? The 0.04 cent level, the volume indicator is telling you if you can get up here, hold it as support. This is all free area to zoom right back through here, right? As quick as you zoom down through here like this, see how quick you zoom down through here? You can rocket back up through here like that. So that's what I'm watching out for, how this interacts with the 0.04 cents at the top part of the shit house. I expect some overhead resistance as the 100-day moving average is in there. But if you can get above that, sustain a push above it, hold it and confirm it, you have a free and clear run to 0.0752. And then if you get rejected violently, you would trade back down towards the bottom part of this, the bottom part of the shit house. But this is oversold right now. If you can get above here and get into this thinly traded area, the volume indicator, you can have a quick pump up into here on a spectacular pump over a few day period. Like, subscribe, and share. Use my links down below. Comment if you want further coin updates this evening. Peace and love. Peace and love.